What's up, everybody? Today we're going to learn how to create a mortgage calculator and schedule using Microsoft Excel. If you're interested, you could also use this in Google Sheets, which is probably cheaper than Microsoft Excel, but we're going to be using Excel today. Couple things to remember about this. It's always great to understand how a mortgage calculation works. That's why I advocate using Microsoft Excel to understand the key inputs for, in this case, the mortgage calculation. If you also do it in Excel or Google Sheets, it's easier for you to perform a sensitivity analysis where you can change your inputs and see how your mortgage payment might change under different conditions, like if you had a different interest rate, or if you put up a different down payment, or had a different home value. And lastly, it's really important to have this available within Excel or Google Sheets so you can use it for future financial planning. If you're interested in future financial planning where we could walk through monthly budgeting processes or tax planning for mortgage interest as a deduction on your tax returns, let's see if we can get this video to hit 50 likes. If we hit 50 likes, then we'll go ahead and make a video on those extra things. But for now, let's start with creating the basic schedule in Excel. So let's get started on the calculation. First thing we need is the home value, the down payment, to figure out the amount financed. So let's type those in now. Now for each of these, I'm going to be using the Excel default here to figure out which ones are inputted and which ones are calculated. For the sake of this example, let's say we have a $350,000 property. And we'll do a down payment of 20% times 0.2. That gives us our amount financed of $280,000. Now, if I always want to make sure I have a 20% down payment, I'll keep this cell as is and just change this around if I need to. So that's part one. Now we also need to know the interest rate and the term of the loan. Those things, along with the amount that you're borrowing, are huge factors in how much your monthly payment is. So let's get those as well. So for this example, let's go with 3.5% rate of interest and a 30-year loan. Most people who are looking at this will say that a 30-year loan is probably their best option, so we're going to go with that. And finally, before we calculate the payment, we're going to create a couple extra cells to make it easier to create the schedule down below. Right. Now the monthly interest rate is going to be the annual interest rate divided by 12. And the loan term in months is going to be the loan term in years multiplied by 12. These are important because when we create the schedule below, we're going to need to do it in monthly terms so we can utilize the monthly payment to make the schedule. And finally, let's do the monthly payment. The monthly payment can be done by using the PMT formula. And we're going to have a monthly rate, period in months, and then finally the amount we're financing here. That gives us a monthly payment of $1,257.33. Now, just as I said before, if you change this to 3.25 or change it to a 15-year loan, then the monthly payment and everything else will change along with it. Once you have everything set up here, you can change that as you want to. Now that's the first part, creating your own mortgage calculator. Now you know what your monthly payment would be given the certain circumstances. But we're not done yet. We also want to create this amortization schedule, this huge long schedule that dictates every single loan payment. So let's get started on that. Loan All right, so the components of the loan schedule are the payment number. This would be attached to a date normally, which you could also put in here as well, but because there's no date for this, we're just going to put it in here as the payment number. The actual payment, which we'll refer to up here, the interest component of your payment, the principal component of your payment, and finally, the loan balance. So at payment number 0, I'm going to call it number 0, our loan balance is going to be what we're financing. On our first payment, we're going to call this payment number 1. That's going to be this monthly payment right here. And for the schedule, I'm going to make it an absolute reference by hitting F4. Now the interest part of that payment is going to be the interest calculated on the previous loan balance. In this case, it's going to be the monthly interest, so this amount. Again, make that absolute, multiplied by the previous loan balance. Now the principal is going to be whatever is not interest. And then finally, the loan balance, after you've made your payment, is going to be the previous loan balance less any principal that you ended up paying. Now for the sake of this schedule, let's put $signs on everything so it's easy to see. And there you've made your first loan payment. Now we got to go all the way down until we hit month number 360 because this is a 30-year loan. Let's check everything first. That 1 will turn into a 2. This is absolute. That's relative. And absolute. That one's relative, great. And I think we're all set here. So as long as we have our formulas like that, let's see if we can get it working. So as you can see here, we dragged it all the way down to loan number 360, and at the end of the day, you paid off the entire mortgage. So that's it. This is creating your own mortgage calculator and schedule using Excel. Again, if you want another video, let's try to get 50 likes on this video. We can show you how to do trailing 12 months interest for your tax calculations, incorporating other monthly payments into your calculation just so you can see how much money is actually going out the door, not just your mortgage. And also we could create a extra column in here to show what happens if you paid off some of your mortgage early. But again, let's see if we can hit that like goal. Anyways, that's it. Bye.